and it states that if the information that is being reported on your consumer credit profile, if it doesn't meet the 5 points of compliance, and there's 5 different points, I'll let y'all Google that because it's super detailed. But if the accounts that are being listed on a consumer credit profile does not meet these 5 points of compliance, it can't be reported.
What's good, world? We back on the Dion Tony podcast, and I got an episode today that you can't miss. Like, when it comes down to figuring out how to get your credit right, how to get funded so you can leverage that to start a whole nother business, this is the guy that you need to know. I mean, every time I open my phone, I see him on there, and he's got this whole thing called Metro2, right? That literally has a whole different approach to fixing your credit. So if you've been doing it the slow way, you know, Lexington Law, doing it all that way, and it's just not working for you, this is who you need to be getting game from today. Yes, and you guys always know I bring people on here just to teach you guys everything. So welcome, Dion Coopwood, Mr. Phenomenal, dominate the decade. What's up, bro?
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to be here, man. Glad to be tapped in with my good brother, bro. Hey, listen, God is good, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got the new Lambo. It's like life is flourishing. God just blessing you. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, man. Yeah, so I mean, like, my main thing is I just kind of want to get right to it for the people that are listening, right?
Let's go.
In the small tense, and then we're going to break everything down. What is Metro2?
Dang, you just want to jump right into it, huh?
Right into it, and then we're going to go back.
Then we're going to go back. We're going to go back to
hook them first.
We're going to go back to where I was raised and all. I bet. So Metro2 Compliance is... I'm not even gonna call it like the secret sauce or nothing like that, because I'll be like, people say that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
It's the news you can use. That's what it is. You know, Metro2 Compliance is a credit compliance standard that was put in place in 1997 by the CDIA, and it states that if the information that is being reported on your consumer credit profile, if it doesn't meet the 5 points of compliance, and there's 5 different points, I'll let y'all Google that because it's super detailed. But if the accounts that are being listed on a consumer credit profile does not meet these 5 points of compliance, it can't be reported, because that means that any information that has deviated from the standard of those 5 points of compliance, that means that it jeopardized the integrity of the information that's being reported. So since the credit bureaus put this in place, they're not teaching nobody about it. They ain't talking to nobody about it. Nobody knows about it. And unfortunately, we're stuck with what's called factual dispute, which is, I'll let everybody know, that's the only true legal way in order to dispute items off of your consumer credit profile. But we don't use factual disputing per se as the main tactic, although that is factored in there, because with Metro2 Compliance, it does support the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is factual dispute, and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, which says we all have to have our credit being reported fairly, and we have to all have the equal opportunity. But with Metro2 Compliance, we're focusing on the account's ability to even be reported. So with factual disputing, when people are using that, they're looking at the accounts and they're saying that this is wrong, this is inaccurate, and do you have ownership of it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with Metro2 Compliance, we're talking about, based upon compliance standard, does the account have the ability to even be reported?
Right.
So we talking about factual nature versus reportability.
Right.
That's a totally different beast. So when we send in Metro2 compliant letters, it's literally going at the nature of the account's ability to be reported. This is a totally different ball game. It ain't the same.
Yeah. Okay. Different. So just to start out the podcast, you guys heard that I wanted to get you guys hooked at the beginning. So now we want to figure out just who is Dion Coopwood. You're from Chicago, right?
Chi-Town raised me,
Chi-Town.
But Atlanta is paying me, bro.
Okay. Nice. How long have you been in Atlanta?
This is since April of 2022, so we'll be like 8-9 months in.
Right. Okay. Okay. And then obviously you probably just weren't always doing this since you were a kid. Like,
right.
What did you do? Did you like play basketball, sports, college? Because I saw some hooping pictures. Don't know if you still got it, but I saw them.
I still got that work, man. The hooper never, loses that. It's kind of like riding a bike. So I can still hoop, man. It was an interesting story. I was raised in a small town on the south side of Chicago called Riverdale. I actually grew up in the projects, bro. You know what I'm saying? And where the things that you hear about Chicago, like the gang banging, the shooting, and the drug dealing, I grew up in that type of poverty type of neighborhood. Right there. Like right there. Like I saw guns being shot in front of me. I saw people fighting and getting beat up. I saw a lot of gang banging, and I didn't want to be a part of that per se, and so I just started playing ball. Like about 5th, 6th grade, started playing ball. And ball carried me through high school, grammar school, high school, what I'm saying, in college. I played at Southern Illinois University. Shout out to all my Salukis out there. And I played ball, man, was playing on TV, ESPN. It was a great run. And then, we became adults. And, life is life. And so, but, raised in a single family home, never really knew my dad, bro. Like, didn't have a relationship with him at all. I think I met him like maybe 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And the times that I did meet him, he did do one thing good for me, and that was to introduce me to his other children that he had. So I was able to establish relationships with them, on my dad's side. And so, but other than that, man, it was raised in a broken home, never really had no real like guidance like that, from a father figure perspective. So at a young age, I had to figure it out, bro.
Yeah.
I had to figure it out soon, fast. And that level of responsibility is what grew me up fast, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like the man of the house for my mom for a while, for a very long time. And I assumed that role with great lengths of responsibility. And, my mom took care of me, and now I take care of my mom.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just like, environment is everything, right?
Yep.
So just growing up in Chicago in the heat of it, right? And we hear the thing Chirac and all of that. How did you just stay on track, or was it just like basketball was keeping you tunnel focused? Because it's so easy to just go to the wrong side and make one mistake.
Yeah. It's crazy. My mom said at a very young age I was making wise decisions, and I didn't understand it. I didn't know until I had to start looking at my life now, where she was telling me that, she was like, when you was like 12 or 13, I remember you coming home one day telling me that your friends had started like smoking weed and they were drinking, and you said, I'm not friends with them anymore because I don't want to do that.
Right.
And she was like, and I'm looking at you like, how is this kid like making these kind of decisions like that when it's easy to be influenced, like you said, growing up in that type of environment. And like you said, I just kind of grabbed hold of the basketball, and that allowed me to stay focused. And then so what I did was the people who I were playing basketball with, I started to hang out with them. And all we did was either play video games or play basketball and go to school. Yeah. And we just like, all right, we got to go to school to get our grades so that we could play ball. And then we play ball so that way we could play the video games so our parents won't, yell at us. And so it was just a combination of being around people who, we're doing the same things you're doing, because like you said, your environment, it carries everything,
Yeah. And then I'm sure you had like hoop dreams. So like,
did I?
So like, did you play after high school?
Yes. So I played after high school. I went to college. I went to SIU, which is known as Southern Illinois University of Carbondale. So I played there. That's a Division I school. And like I said, bro, we was on ESPN. I played with some of the best of the best, man. Like Eric Gordons, the OJ Mayos, Taj Gibsons. I played against a lot of people, bro.
Right.
Like you said, you kind of have these hoop dreams where you like, all right, cool, I'm gonna make it to the league, and it never just really happened. And then more so for me, it was like I had opportunity to go play balls overseas. But when I graduated college, I had my daughter, and at that time, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give up my goals and dreams so she can live her goals and dreams. So I just want to be around for my kids, because again, you gotta remember, I didn't have a dad. So one thing that my dad taught me to do was to actually be around, because he wasn't around. Right. So when you think about people being in your life, they are there for a reason. They are showing you what you should do and what you should not do. Right. So, one thing that he taught me to do is to be around, because he wasn't around. Got you.
So then when you have your daughter and you're like, man, like I'm not going to the league, stuff's changing. Yeah. What do you do for employment at this time? Because we're leading up to who you are, but I want them to know who you are.
So that's an interesting story too, bro. So I'm going to tell my age, but I graduated college in 2008, right? Mm-hmm. So when graduating in 2008, if people understand and remember, that was when the economy had popped. Like it was, the real estate market was trash. Everything was messed up. So there was no work. Yeah. So now here I am graduating with a degree that I can't use. Nobody want to hire me. Nobody. No, they like, ain't no jobs, ain't no work, ain't nothing happening. And so I remember having an issue with my Sprint phone at the time. Yeah. And I went to the store to get it fixed. And I told the store manager, she was out on the floor, and I was like, hey, you the manager? She was like, yeah. And I said, I just want to tell you something. She was like, what's that? I said, if you hire me, this would be the best decision you've ever made, and I will be the best employee that you've ever had. Yeah. And she was like, dang, that's how you feel? I said, yep. She said, all right, cool. Come back tomorrow for an interview. Okay. Just like that. So I went back for an interview, crushed it, and I started, I think, that next week. Bro, I was so good, bro. They didn't even put me through training, bro.
Dang, they just started you on the floor.
They just started me on the sales floor. Dang. Like, just like that, just straight out the gate. I never went through training. Because at that time, they was like going through training just because the economy was messed up. And they were like, oh, we're going to get to training. Mm-hmm. But once they end up getting to training like 2 months later, like everybody who had started with me, they sent them to training, but they was like,
he don't need it.
You don't we're not gonna waste your time with
you
that.
Had just something different about you, the energy.
Bro, I had that dog in me.
That dog.
Man. You feel me? So I didn't need training, but I never went through training. It was crazy. 8 months on a gig, bro. My store manager at the time, she looked at me and she was like, hey, yo, you about to run this store. This was 8 months. Yeah. Like, you gotta think, bro, I'm a kid coming out of college, and I just wanted a chance. I just want to take care of my daughter. And that was a good decision for me at the time because, you know, I went from being able to not really have income and not have a job to immediately within 8 months making 6 figures a year. You feel me?
Like at Sprint.
At Sprint.
Man, that's crazy. And just to stop there too, I noticed that there's a lot of people like just on the come up or either stay there and they like at the cell phone business, but they're there for a while. Yeah, so bro. Is there a lot of commission involved?
So so cool. So I'm glad you asked that. So people get stuck in the cellular industry because the commission is crazy.
Yeah.
Like the hourly is like, it's cool. You know, you can get $15, $20 an hour, maybe whatever. So you got to think, bro, it's people that's working for $15 to $20 an hour.
Yeah.
With no commission.
Right.
And then you got these people that's working at like the T-Mobiles, the AT&Ts, the Verizons, where there are people that are coming in to buy phones anyway, and you're getting paid like $5 to $10 every phone you sell. So imagine, you know what I'm saying, you got like 80 phone sales.
A day?
Like for the month, let's just say. For the month. Okay. Yeah. And let's just say they paying you, let's just call it $100 a phone.
Yeah.
Bro, that's 8 racks.
On top of what
you're going to get. So you got, you know, I had sales reps making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm the store manager. I was making $130 a year.
Just before the commission or with the commission?
So without the commission, I was making like 80.
Yeah.
With the commission, like 120, 130.
And are you making commission off of the salespeople?
Off of the salespeople. So all I got to do is impact them, motivate them, inspire them, and train them to be just as good as I was on the sales floor. Because here's the deal. Like, we're not talking about somebody who just kind of like fell into a role because he was performing good.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was a sales rep, I was #1 in the nation. I went to assistant store manager. Our store was #1 in the nation. When I became a store manager, we was #1 in the nation out of 17,000 stores.
And y'all weren't that when you started?
We wasn't there. We wasn't that when I started.
Okay.
Nah. So I had to, it was my impact on the culture of that store that drove the performance to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was different, bro. So now what I did was when I became a store manager, I just had to just train these people and motivate and inspire them to get the same results that I was getting and show them the way. This is why, you know, mentorship is important, bro, because you need somebody who has been through what you're going through so that way they can show you how to actually grow through what you go through. Like you need somebody to hold your hand through the process. So I held their hand through the process and said, listen, I need y'all to hit these goals. I need y'all to perform at this type of level because this is what I was doing. And I'm not asking you, I'm not sending you somewhere that I've never been. That's like a travel agent. Most travel agents send people where they ain't never been.
Right.
I'm not a travel agent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sending you somewhere that I've been. Like, I've been #1. I need y'all to be #1. So what ended up happening was my store was like, yo, we got the best store manager in the nation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he different. So what ended up happening was I got the #1 sales rep now. I got the #2 sales rep. In the nation, the #3 sales rep. So I built the culture. And then now you got all these other representatives in the store around the district. Now they all want to come work for me. So what it did was it turned the whole entire district up. So now our district is top performing.
Yeah.
Before you know it, now I'm having conversations about becoming a district manager. You see what I'm saying? See how that...
The scale.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was some good times, though.
Yeah, and then see, one thing that I heard, what you just said too, where people miss out on is like sometimes people are so focused on getting the reward at the beginning, right? Yeah. You walked in there like saying, yo, let me just show you what I can do, right? And then naturally, like once you present your value, they don't want you to be gone, so then they're gonna keep scaling. But people, they just get stuck on like, give it to me now. You know what I'm saying?
They want that they want that instant gratification.
Yeah.
But they don't want to make no sacrifices.
None.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta be okay with, you know what I'm saying, with like sacrificing now and getting that thing later. Like this ain't no microwave type of situation. Yeah. Now I will say that, you know, now in these days and age, I'm not saying that it's not possible to have success fast.
Yeah.
Because the internet the internet is definitely a game changer for a lot of people. And I've watched a lot of my friends here in Atlanta, you know, just go crazy and turn up, you know what I'm saying, in an instance. But I will also say that there was a certain level of work that had to go into that too.
Yeah.
You know? And so I also see a lot of people that be like, yo, I want to get a bag, like, you know, y'all getting a bag, I want to run it up. And they not really willing to put in the work. So there's some front end work and there's some back end work. And they don't see what they need to see, you know what I'm saying, until it's time to actually perform. And they be like, nah, y'all got that. I'm good. You know, I'm out. You know,
right.
But yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, especially like in our circle, we're seeing like, you know, the digital, we're seeing people doing these big numbers and these unreal numbers that, you know, you would think coming from corporate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
But it's like you said, people aren't seeing the sacrifice. They're seeing the tip of the iceberg. And they're like, yo, I'm going to instantly start a webinar and I'm gonna do this same thing. Just build me a funnel. You know what I'm saying? And since I'm doing the funnels for people, I'm telling them like it's so much more to that. So I guess we're accidentally transitioning to webinars. You know what I'm saying? We'll jump back.
But think about the webinars. Like think about somebody like me who had just started doing webinars not too long ago. And so if somebody look at me and say, all right, well, what did you make? And I tell them, they'll think that they can do it, but not understanding that I've been an entrepreneur going on 8 years.
Yeah.
Not understanding that for 8 years, I worked in corporate America and I was number one.
Yeah.
In a sales environment with sales background and a sales experience. So when you think about it from that aspect, I come to the table with a whole lot more.
Yeah.
Like I didn't just get started. I ain't new to this. I'm true to this.
Yeah.
Like you feel me? Like, so you can't compete where you can't compare.
Right.
It don't work that way.
And then a lot of things too, just like since we're on the webinar topic real quick and we're going to jump back, but it's just like psychology. And that's one thing that I had to learn, right? Yeah. It's like a lot of people jump into, whether it's the webinar game or anything, right? There's trained experts in it and they think they can do it their way. Yeah. But there's a reason why there's a science to doing it. And if you don't follow the science, you're not going to see the results.
And also too, like with following the science, you're not going to see the results. And then also too, you got to understand, if you don't get trained, you can't be successful.
Right.
Like people have to understand, I tell people this all the time, jobs have actually showed us what success looks like. Yeah. They say, I want you to come here to the same spot 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Yeah. And I want you to do the same thing consistently. Yeah. They showed you how to be consistent. They did. And then they said, before you start though, we got this guy or this girl, she's going to train you. He's going to train you. Yeah. So they're going to train you how to come sit here and be consistent for 8 hours. So when you first start a job, you shadow somebody. And then you have to go through showing up to that job. Watch this. Watch how crazy it is. We'll show up to that job for 2 weeks without getting paid.
Sure will.
We sure will. Because we know that eventually I'll get paid once I start doing the job. So we'll go there, we'll show up for 2 weeks without getting paid. We'll get trained for 2 weeks with like, let's just say half of a check. So we didn't win a whole month without any real dough. Because we know that if I put in the work, I'm eventually going to get paid. Right. So then once I start doing the job, they pay me every 2 weeks for work that I did 2 weeks ago. So now I got to show up and do the work without getting paid until I get paid. But most people ain't trying to do that with entrepreneurship. They want to jump right in. Yep. They don't want to get no coach. They don't want to get no mentor. They don't want to shadow nobody. They just want to say, hey, look, create me a funnel. I'm going to just go get them. Yep. And then
get funded. Fund me real quick.
Yeah, give me some money real quick. No, it don't work that way. You're going to get your head, but you're going to be disappointed. So, yeah, it's a process to everything. And jobs have truly shown us the process. So, for me, I think, I predicate a lot of my success. I just say, like, I'm going to do what I did at the job, and I'm going to apply it to entrepreneurship. And it works. It works.
Facts. Yeah. Hey, we might need a fire extinguisher here because Dion got a lot of
Let's
smoke.
Go. You see, I keep taking sips.
Man, a lot of smoke coming off the mic. So now that you're, you was killing at the sprint. Yeah. Where's the transition? What happens next? Like, when do you feel like it's not for you anymore?
Yep. It was, this is a crazy story. So I was at Sprint for 7 years. And being at Sprint for 7 years, what ended up happening was I got a call. We had at one point in time, we had bought out the US Sailor Spectrum, right? So that meant that, I don't know if y'all remember US Sailor, but we ended up basically putting US Sailor out of business. We bought the Spectrum in Chicago. So we ended up kind of putting them out of business. Then what ended up happening was we did like kind of like a merger, kind of like semi-merger with T-Mobile. And what ended up happening was some people came up from T-Mobile to Sprint. And it was just a lot of commotion going on. And what ended up happening was some people from Sprint went to T-Mobile. They left. It was like a lot of people, a lot of higher ups, right? And so then after about a few months, I started getting calls from like my district manager's boss, who at that time was the area manager. And he was just like, hey, yo, listen, I need some good talent at T-Mobile. Yeah. And you are the best of the best. So we ain't got to talk about money. You can tell me what you want to get paid later. I just need you here. Yeah. And I was like, dang, it's like that. So I kid you not, bro, for like 14 months, about a year and 2 months, I held off on going because I really loved my job at that. I thought I loved it. I didn't know. I was a kid, just with a good job, making $100,000 a year. I'm doing what I want to do. I ain't got no real bills, bro. I'm balling.
And you kind of the king where you were.
Bro, I'm talking about, and I'm the man. Yeah. I ain't really, bro, I was working like 3 days a week. It was 3 days a week. I was coming and going. My store was performing, so it was good. But I ended up going to T-Mobile because I went to Sprint and I'm like, yo, look, we got a lot going on, man, but I know for a fact that I got to be up for a district manager promotion. Like, I know it's my time. And they were just like, oh, yeah. So, man, they end up bringing in people from the outside, and then they end up promoting some people that was like relatives of some people. And I'm like, yo, y'all really going to pass over the number one guy? Y'all crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, y'all, I'm finna get up out of here. Y'all tripping. They was like, no. And I'm going to say it now because I don't even really care. It's been years, bro. But like, they gave me like 10 grand to try to get me to stay. They was like, here, look, take this 10-piece spicy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna eventually promote you to DM.
Right.
I was like, all right, let me get that 10. All right, let me wait for it to cash. I'm up out of here. Cause I know y'all not finna promote me.
Right.
Y'all not gonna promote me. So I end up going to T-Mobile, man. And crazy, believe it or not, man, I started at T-Mobile October. It was like right before Halloween, like October 30th. And I think that was in 2016. And man, bro, at that time I end up by January 1, we was number one in the nation at T-Mobile. So I had took a store that was like the bottom 10% in the nation. It was an HR nightmare. I ended up taking them from the bottom, man, all the way up to the top, bro. And I was able to do that because I worked with half of the store. Yeah. And then I brought over half of my team from Sprint. I brought some more people from Sprint within the district as well. And man, we just performed. We just did what we did at a whole nother company, whole nother organization. I was number one all over again, bro. So it was like it was a good run. And I went to T-Mobile, and then what ended up happening was I was at T-Mobile for a year. I went over there to do store manager / acting district manager role. Yeah. They paid me a little bit more money. I really wasn't really concerned about money. I just wanted to continue to grow. I feel like if I can't grow, I'm dying. Yeah. Like if something ain't growing, it's dying. Like
it seems like you started seeing where your ceiling was.
Correct. And I think for me, a lot of that was just like, real political moves and stuff like that. So I feel like I was capped at my ceiling, and they were just like, yo, like we'll keep paying you money. We're not going to like promote you. So I'm like, all right, let me get up out of it. So I was an acting district manager at T-Mobile. And then I just decided that job wasn't for me. Like, so HR was coming in the store and loss prevention, and they were just questioning, acting silly. And I was like, listen, it's either going to be me or it's going to be my employees. And I was like, you're going to have a hard time replacing me. Yeah. And I'm like, look, but I'll leave if y'all want me to leave. I'm like, but I'm not going to quit. Right. Y'all going to have to let me go. Yeah. Like, so just let me know if y'all gonna let me go so I get my little unemployment, so I can relax a little bit. Yeah. And they was like, yeah, we gonna separate it. I'm like, here, look, take the badge, take the laptop. I'm up out of here. My district manager at the time, she was crying. It was crazy. Yeah. But I just felt like, I fell out of love with my job, because I feel like with a job, you got 3 phases. When you first start, you love it because you got ability to feed your family. Yeah. And then that love end up turning into like, because you like, I just like coming here because, again, I got to pay bills, but I don't like none of y'all in here. Yeah. Y'all get on my nerves. I hate coming. I'm coming here every day. You start to realize that you are in a cycle. Yeah. And then you just tolerating it because you say, you know what? I hate everybody in here. If I can get another job, or if I quit the job, if I can start my business, if I could really believe in myself, I would do that. But I got to stay here because my mortgage is due or my rent is due. You know what I'm saying? I got bills to pay. So I'm going to stay here until I can figure something else out. So I had got to the point, man, I was just tolerating my job. Yeah. Realistically. And end up separating and leaving, and I'll say, you know what, I don't know what I want to do. I just knew that I had good credit, and that's how I got into what I'm into now, because I ended up taking my good credit. At that time, I had like $40,000 in credit. I had 2 American Express, and I had Discover. Yeah, it was a total of $40,000. I said, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna leverage my credit to create the lifestyle that I want. And so I left.
And you didn't even have that credit education yet.
I didn't have no education, bro. I just was like, yo, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm good at what I do. I'm like, if y'all could pay me $100. I got to be at least worth 10 times that amount. Right. Like, I got to at least be able to work. Like, I should be able to go get
all the little bonuses they was throwing you.
You feel me? I'm talking about, if y'all could give me $100, y'all ain't giving me half of that bag. Like, so I'm like, I got to be worth for M. I should be able to, if I could create y'all $1 million plus, I should be able to go get that on my own. So I started my entrepreneurial journey, bro, with $40,000 in credit. I was paying my mortgage at the time. I had 2 car notes. I was paying, taking care of my daughter. Like, putting food on the table, paying everything with credit cards, bro.
Yeah. What was your first business, like first inch at entrepreneurship?
So the first 3 years of entrepreneurship, I did life insurance and financial planning, bro. Okay. I'm going door to door.
Yeah, door to door doing it. Oh, man.
Hey, what's up, Tony? How you doing, man? I was talking to your neighbor, man, Aria, and he told me that you'd be interested in some financial information. You got like 2-3 minutes. Can I step in? Yeah. Your wife home?
Dang.
You feel me?
And what I'm wondering about that is, like, when you were at the cell phone shop, you got hot leads, really.
So they was coming in.
Yeah, they're coming in.
They was coming in. But what made me number one at the cell phone store is because I knew that they was coming in. I just had to sell them some extra. Yeah. You was already coming to get the phone. Let me give you 2 phones. Or let me give you the phone and a case. Like, so I knew that. So now I went from people coming to me having to go to the people.
So now you're getting a lot of rejection. It's different.
Bro, I'm talking about everybody was a no.
Yeah.
I'm talking about every door was a slam. And most people didn't come to the door. Everybody was a no. Sometimes I would present for 2, 3, 4 hours and that was a no.
Yeah.
And I just had to just muster up the courage to just say, like, somebody gonna tell me yeah. Like I know that if I can get enough no's, I'm eventually start getting some yeses. And so for me, every day I just went after no's, after the no's, after the no's, because I knew that I was gonna get a yes. So I just mentally told myself like just go for no's. Like don't worry about the yeses. The yeses will eventually fall in place. Just go after the no's, and the yeses are gonna take care of themselves.
See, what I like about that too is like I was talking to one of the webinar guys, right? And he was just like, I'm not hitting the numbers week after week after week. It's the same thing. Yeah. And I said, well, you now have like a whole back-end integration sales team set up, right? Why don't you change your perspective? So this is the bar. Why don't you change your perspective to say, how do I get more people to the other side and grow that side? And then eventually you start noticing that the front side's growing even larger. Yeah. So what I mean by that for you is like, instead of focusing on the yeses, you change their perspective. And that's what so many people need to do. They're tearing themselves down by thinking what they need to be hitting when it's like, just change the perspective.
That's it. That's
what I'm saying?
Like you don't focus on what you know can go wrong. Just focus on what you know can go right. Like, so I just like, look, I know the no's are gonna be there. I'm cool with that. So I just played again. I said, let me see how many no's I can get every day.
Yeah.
I just changed the narrative.
And were you just in different neighborhoods like every day?
Yeah. So what I would do was like, let's say if Tone told me, he did some business, I'm gonna say, look, Tone, can I get 10 referrals? So then you'll give me like 10 of your close family and friends, and then I would call them. And I would say, hey, I was by Tone's house yesterday. I want to come speak to you and your wife now. He told me, to hit you up. I want to know if I can come see you tomorrow or the following day. Which one best for you? You say, all right, tomorrow. All right, mornings, afternoons, evenings.
Yeah.
And I'm in your crib.
And that referral's kind of creating a little bit of a warmer lead.
Now I'm getting warmer. Now I'm able to, say, kind of call some people instead of just having to just pull up. You know what I'm saying? But even if I pulled up and I closed Tone, I can still go to your neighbor crib though, like on the left and on the right, because they know you. Yeah. So I go knock on Mr. Johnson door and say, I just talked to Tony and his wife. And they told me I could come, so just see if you was at home because they love the information I shared. You got 5 minutes, and I'm in his crib, and I'm getting some referrals from him. Yeah. Boom. Then I can go to the next crib. But now if somebody break that chain and they'll answer the door, then I just get in my whip and I'm gone. I just call his referrals and I go see them tomorrow.
Did that situation, like just working in that career, did it stop making? Of course, it stopped making sense, but did it ever start making sense?
All right, so it made sense because again, I am who I am. I'm good at what I do. And so what ended up happening was, bro, the company that I was partnered with at the time, I was an independent insurance agent, but I was a broker for a company. And that company that I worked for, I ended up number one.
Once again.
So yeah, bro, I was the number one insurance producer for that company, selling individual policies. I was number one. I actually had, when you in insurance companies, they have like hierarchies and charts and stuff where you can build your team and get paid off of your team and stuff like that too. So me being a manager, I was like, I'm not to do this anyway. Yeah. So I was recruiting people and building a team. I had the number one, what they call base shop. So I was the number one recruiter. So I was the number one life insurance producer. I was the number one recruiter. I had the largest organization and the number one team. I had the number one base shop, which means that my team was doing the most production in that company. So here I am, I'm taking number one at every single category other than income. Cause at that time I was only at like I had replaced my income. I had replaced my income from the job within 10 months. So 10 months of door knocking, talking to people, building a team, I had replaced my income on the job, working for myself in 10 months.
Got you. So this form of entrepreneurship was kind of like attaching onto a product.
MLM.
Okay.
Multi-level marketing. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Facebook don't like MLM. Yeah. That's the hard part. But hey, it's very lucrative for a lot of people too or whatever. Yeah. When did a lot of people I know burn out with MLM? What happened with you?
I burnt out.
You burnt out?
I burnt out. I did it for 3 years. And I started praying and I was telling God, I'm like, yo, I want something different. Yeah. I need something different. And one of my at the time I was purchasing a new house. I was getting a new construction built. And my loan originator, he had called me, was like, yo, I know you said you was looking for something new. Like I wasn't entertaining nothing for those 3 years, you know? But I had told him like, look, you know anything I get into, just let me know. Cause at that time he's making like 800, 900,000 a year. So I respected, him because he's performing at a high level. He's making good income. I don't listen to nobody who I can't switch bank accounts with. That's big. Like we ain't even going to talk. Like we ain't not going to do that. Right. But he said he had called me. He was like, hey, yo, you need to get with my son. He out there in Cali. He got his own solar company. Maybe you should look into doing that. He's doing some M's a year. I'm like, you know what? Let me check that out. And that's where Mr. Phenomenal Power was born.
Okay.
So I started my own solar renewable energy company called Phenomenal Power. So here we are, 3 years in entrepreneurship. I pivoted. Now I'm running my own solar company. And again, I built up my solar company. I had like 140 reps in it. You know what I'm saying? Within like.
So you kind of took the sales experience from the cell phone shop, the MLM for the recruiting and building an army, and then that's how you made the solar company. That's crazy.
Yeah. So the solar company, I was making great money there. The commissions on that joint is crazy. Anybody that watched this and that's in solar, they know I'm telling the truth. Like, bro, we get paid like 30, 40 grand a house.
This is like the panels on top of the roof.
This is the solar panels on top of the crib.
Man.
So I was doing residential and commercial where we would go and still, again, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
We knocking on doors, you know what I'm saying? We passing out flyers. And if somebody told us yes, bro, it was like 30, 40 grand a crib.
Yeah.
Now, once the person get the loan and, the company get the money, then obviously you got to pay your managers. You got to pay all these people. You got to pay your reps, So you cutting the bread down, but bro, that's crazy money in solar. So I was running my own solar renewable energy company. And I did that for 2 years. Like about 2 years, I did that, made some great money doing that. And the only reason why I stopped doing that, it wasn't a burnout session because I actually like doing that, but it was more so a concept of because solar is still kind of like new.
Yeah.
There's a fear of it, so, people fear what they don't know.
Yeah.
So it made it harder for us to convert people.
Yeah.
Unlike anything else, because the first thing people thinking is, I don't know nobody with solar.
Yeah.
And you got to think, I'm in the Midwest. So I'm in Chicago where it's snowing and all of that. We barely getting sun. So people like, they're like, this, I don't know if this is going to make sense for me.
Right.
And so we having to try to make it make sense for people. We did an excellent job at explaining it, making it make sense for the people. But it just got to a point to where, for me, not more so from a client perspective, understanding it because we educated, but more so from a municipality perspective, where when we would go to these, these different counties and submit permits to install, they would be like, install solar? What's that? Yeah. And so then what it did was it made for a bad customer experience to where they like, the permit's taking 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. Now now we can't get paid.
Yeah.
We don't get paid until the actual the system is installed at that time. That's what it was. So that means that if we close somebody today and they don't get installed for 12 weeks, well, we ain't getting paid for 12 weeks.
Oh man.
So it was just like, that was bad because we were telling clients, hey, listen, based upon the install crew that I had at the time, they're like, yo, we can get them installed within like 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, cool. But you got to think, you could wait 4 weeks if your commission check gonna be $6 grand.
Right.
You could wait 4 weeks if your commission check gonna be 30 grand.
Right.
And like, I remember when I first got into it, my first 3 deals paid me like 30,000. I said, yo,
dang,
this is some stupid bread. I said, I bet I'm doing this. I'm gonna build my company up. Like if I can't do it myself and see success, I'll never tell somebody else to do it. So I had to like be an agent when I first started, and I did it, and it was like some crazy bread. But yeah, I built that company up, bro. But because I couldn't really like handle customer service, and there was so many different moving parts with different companies, and then like we even had like, it was like even a situation to where politics played a part, because if the president was not going to re-sign that renewable energy bill, then that played a part in customers being able to get, like they checks back for going solar. Mm-hmm. So it was so many different moving parts. I said, I don't like all these moving parts. I can't really control my destiny. Yeah. So it's time for me to get up out of here. So
control your destiny. That's a big one, man.
Yeah, bro. So I got up out of there, and that I said, I'm gonna go back to my roots. I want to go back to like financial literacy, financial services. So that brought me back to doing credit. And here's the piece. Before I got out of there, a big piece of people going solar was they need to have a 650 credit score higher to qualify for the no money down program.
Because how much is the solar?
Depends on like the average household. It costs you about like 30, 40 grand. But the government and the state that they lived in was giving them checks back. So they really wasn't paying nothing, to be honest.
Dang. And how much of like your light bill does it just reduce?
All of it. So you get them enough panels to completely reduce the whole bill.
So a home that may have a $300 Georgia Power or whatever the light bill is, it's gone.
It's gone.
Oh,
Georgia Power is gone. So you install them solar systems. It's absorbing energy from the sun, putting all the energy into the crib. You don't need it.
I can see how that
went. And then so what ends up happening was, this is how the system ends up for free. You would get the solar. The sun is beaming all day, but your panels only can hold so much energy. So, and your house only produces so much energy. So you'll put enough panels to produce enough energy that they can produce for a year. But then because the sun is so strong, it's overproducing. So you producing energy, but the excess energy goes back into the actual grid. So the power company now says, oh, well, now we're going to take your energy and give it to your neighbors. So you're basically selling your energy back. So they will give you, like, let's just say depreciation on your solar system. And they'll say, well, listen, over the next 15 years, we're going to run amortization. And we're going to say, based upon your system size, we're going to cut you a check. You're going to give us so much extra energy over the next 15 years. We're going to give you a $10,000 check.
Hey, he's selling solar. I might.
Hey, you feel me? Like I still got that work. You feel me? So that was a no-brainer. So when you go to people's house and say that, they're like, oh, you cut my energy, but you finna save me $300 a month, and I'm gonna get a check back.
Yeah.
And then so that was just the state check. You got another check for you got an income like for your children earn income credit.
Yeah.
They was giving you solar renewable energy credits on your taxes too. It was crazy. So people were saying yeah, but they weren't qualified because they didn't have a 650 credit score. So I started my credit company
to try to fix that gap.
To fix the credit. So that way I say, look, we're going to put you in this program over here. We're going to fix your credit up. Then we're going to bring you back and you're going to qualify.
Yeah.
Then you go solar. So I was like, let me get that bag. Then I get this bag when they come back. And I'm going to just get 2 bags for one.
Hey, that makes sense.
So then when I transition out of solar, I transition right into credit and start running it up.
It just made sense.
It was like, I didn't really, it was really like everything just was in alignment for me. I didn't like force nothing, bro.
Yeah.
It just made sense.
Because I was going to say, like, how did you even get into the credit? You know what I'm saying? But now we got there in the story to where it's making sense for the people. Yeah. It's not a game. Like, he's doing it to serve. You
Facts,
know what
bro.
I'm saying?
Facts. That's it. That's it.
So then when you first started, like, I mean, of course you didn't know the expertise in game you know now. Yeah. Like, just tell us about that. Like, you know.
I'll be honest with you, bro. When I first got into the industry, I really didn't want to do credit repair.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I really wanted to just educate people. I wanted to educate myself on it and then educate people so that, like you said, I could serve them. Because from a biblical standpoint, it says, if I fish for you, I can feed you for a day. But if I could teach you how to fish, I could feed you for a lifetime. Because if I show you how to do it, then you can help yourself forever.
Yeah.
Then you can help some other people. So I said, I just want to just educate people on how to do it and show them how to do it. And I want to charge them for that. But I had a business partner at the time and he was just like, nah, let's just do it for him. Like, he was like, it will make more money. It'll be easier. You know, we can do it together. I'm like, you know what? All right, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So we started doing it. And man, after like the first 2 months, because you got to think, bro, I had built up such a brand for myself over these years. Like, you got to think, this is the guy who played basketball. Like, we talking about the guy in high school who was voted most popular. Yeah. The guy who went to play basketball and was on TV and he was popular. We talking about the guy who graduated and now he's in corporate America. Now he's popular again. You talking about this guy who now he's an entrepreneur. He went to go do insurance. He was number 1. He's popular again. And you got to think, if you seeing social media don't show the ugly part. You only see the good part.
Yeah.
So you seeing all of the success.
Highlight reel.
It's a highlight reel, yo. So all the people were seeing is that. So you got to look at that type of situation where you're seeing somebody just winning. So no matter what he do, I'm rocking with him.
Yeah.
So my brand was big. So now when I go into credit, when I fully immersed myself into that, everybody just came.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, like, when I was doing credit for solar to repair, I wasn't publicly.
Right.
It was just like on the back burner.
Your clients.
Yeah, it was just like, let me help them. It wasn't like, let me help the public.
Yeah.
But because I stopped this bag, I had to turn this bag up.
Right.
So I said, all right, cool. Now that when I put it out there publicly, everybody was like, yo, we know when you do anything, you're going to do it the right way. You're going to handle me the right way. You're going to take care of me. Everything you do, you go crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll now have somebody that I can trust to handle with my pertinent information and who should get me some results. And so people would they flooded in, bro. But it got to a point where even that money at that time, it was like, we was taking an average of like 30, 40 clients a month at like $1,000 a piece, like $1,250 per client. So we making 40, 50 grand a month. But it was too much work because we was doing factual disputing.
Got you.
So I'm up 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
And let's break that down just for the people who are like listening. What exactly is factual disputing? So
factual disputing is the one true legal way that a person can actually repair your credit. When you take the National Credit Repair Exam, that's a question on the exam. What is the one true legal way? And that's factual dispute. So factual dispute is The credit bureaus have to determine accuracy of you having ownership of the account. They need to verify that you own it. Well, basically, okay, let me make it make sense before I go into factual dispute states that the information that is listed on my credit report is factual. Mm-hmm. Right. So then if we're going to dispute the information, that means that we're disputing something because it's not factual. That's factual disputing. I'm going to dispute this because the information that is here on this report is not factual, which means that you need to prove that I own this account, which means show me some type of contract that I signed, show me some type of agreement that I'm into with this company that's listed here. You also have to provide that the information that's being listed is actually accurate across all three bureaus. Is the information correct, right? And is anything missing? Yeah. Like if anything is missing, if it's not correct, if you can't verify that I own it, then bro, it's so many different combinations because it's 3 different credit bureaus and it's like 12 to 15 different categories. Yeah. So the combinations of them getting something wrong is very highly likely because the 3 credit bureaus, they don't even communicate with each other.
Yeah, I even heard like even if the dates opened are
so this
different.
is what I'm saying. Like if the information is not the same across all 3 bureaus, so if the dates that's open is wrong on one, but it's the right date is on 2, but wrong on one, that account could get deleted. If the account balance is right on 1 but wrong on 2, that could get deleted. Yeah. You got so many different combinations of instances where it could be wrong. You could get it deleted, but here's the problem with factual disputing. From a company standpoint, you have to put these letters together. Yeah. Even if you try to use a system to put these letters together, most systems are watered down letters and they cookie cutter. Yeah. So you're not going to really get no results. So that means that if you really want to get some results, you want it to be spicy, you need to have your own wording. Everything needs to make sense. But the problem with that is now from a company perspective, if I got 30 clients, and I got to do 3 bureaus, just on one client, if that one client, let's just say I got to send out 9 letters for that one client. Bro, I might be 15 minutes on this bureau, 15 minutes on this bureau, 15 minutes on this bureau. Then if I got to do some secondaries, I got 15 minutes. It's a lot of time.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is personal letters actually work better than templates. Like they want to see that a real person is trying to fix their situation.
So this is why it was just too time consuming.
Yeah, I can see it. It's hard to scale that. You know what I mean?
Bro, you can't scale. You can't.
Because when you put the automations, your clients aren't getting the results, right?
That's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Well, when you use factory dispute automation, if the letters are not good, you're not gonna get results. And then also too, you got to think about this: the credit bureaus, they get paid to report. Yeah. So when AT&T tell Trans, Equifax, and Experian, I'm gonna pay you $30 a month to report this, they want that 30. They want the.
So wait, who's paying who?
So the data furnisher, which is AT&T, will say, "All right, look, we're gonna pay you to report this information that Tony owes us money." So AT&T is paying Equifax $30 a month just to report that same account.
Dang.
So so this
even after you're not giving them any money, they're just spending money on you.
They're spending money to hopefully get you to pay the debt that you owe.
Got you.
So if they pay, let's do some math. If it's $30 a month and they do that for, let's just say, a whole year until it's time to file taxes, that's $360, right? Let's say you owe them a stack. Then they filed that $1,000 that they lost from you on their tax return. So now you really don't no longer owe AT&T because they filed that as a loss. Yeah. So they paid $360 that you only owe them $1,000. So they didn't really win because when you look at it from a financial perspective, 1,000 minus $360 is what's that? $640. So they got $640 back. They lost $360 trying to get it from you back, reporting it as a negative item. But when they file that as a debt, here's where they win. They'll call a collection agency and say, "Hey, look, check it out. Tony owe us a stack. We'll sell this debt to you for 50 cents on the dollar. Yeah. So give us 500. We'll let you say that Tony now owe you 1,000. Yeah. So now they got 500. Yeah. They already got the 6 something back. Yeah. Then they got another 5. So they got the 1,000 that you owe plus some change. But then now the collection agency call you and say, "All right, we bought this thing for $500. Tony owe AT&T 1,000.
Probably $50 actually.
Huh?
Probably bought it for $50 when he said 50 cents on the
50 cents on the dollar. So so for every dollar they cut it in half. So if you owe 1,000, they pay 500. So they'll call you and say, "Look, Tone, look, we know, let's just work a deal out. We'll take $700 today, man."
And I've been there before.
You feel me? And so you say, "Oh, dang, I'm for to save $300 if I just pay this right now." You never went into business with them.
So you don't owe them nothing.
You don't owe them nothing. You don't have a contractual agreement with them.
Yeah.
Did that data furnisher follow the 5 points of compliance for Metro 2? Can it even be reported? The answer's out of 10.
Nope. So then I think I even made a mistake.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir.
I definitely made a mistake. Because then trying to be a good person doing the right thing, you pay them. And guess what happened to me? Now I validated it.
Correct.
So that's when I was like, when I learned, Jim, that you should never even pay it because it's already been charged off.
Yeah. If it's been charged off, bro, like based upon statute of limitations, most states is 7 years. Like after 7 years, it'll fall off. But like because you don't really owe the debt anymore, all you got to do is just challenge it. 9 times out of 10, you'll get it off.
Yeah. That's crazy.
You don't owe the debt. Like they charged it off. So you paying a debt that you don't even really owe anymore. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See, our biggest expense in life, bro, is what we don't know.
Yep, biggest expense.
So it cost you a little change. I don't know how much your bill was, but
yeah. Shaking my head. Just shaking my head at myself right now. And there's so many people probably think the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they hot right now.
And then the thing about credit too, it's just that it's like when people are like, oh, everybody does credit, it's such a big industry. It doesn't matter who you are, you got a Social Security.
But here's the crazy part though, bro. Like, although it's a big industry, it's a billion plus people on the planet.
Yeah,
it ain't enough credit repair people to serve everybody.
It's not.
This industry is actually one that's good to get into because you got to think too. With a billion people on the planet, 1/3 of Americans got bad credit.
Yep.
So that means that 1 out of every 3 people, somebody got bad credit or got credit challenges where they're not able to live the lifestyle that they want, need, and got to have. And so from that perspective, it's enough people to help to go around, bro.
Yeah.
Like we need more people that's in the credit and the financial literacy space helping people with this. Like, seriously. Yeah.
And then like, I guess too, what I've learned just with credit is like when you're not educated, you think like, all right, I got an inquiry. I'm going to wait 2 years. I got this. I'm going to wait this amount of time. Credit for repair is something that should always be happening. You know what I'm saying? Especially playing at a high level because I would say even me being an entrepreneur, right? I went straight from high school into college, got internships, thought I was going to get a job. They never offered me a job, so I just went straight through entrepreneurship. Well, in order to get funding or loans, I had to personally guarantee everything.
There you go.
So I was always kind of on the risk of more inquiries than the usual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I would just always wait. And then after like every 2 years, it's like, okay, it's time to make my plays. But then now with education, I'm learning that like, yo, if you don't get approved for these things, they don't got to stay on there.
Yeah. Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Yeah.
So like, I wanted to ask you the question of like, how scared should we be of inquiries? Because inquiries seems like such a scary thing. Like you hear people get these credit cards, but they're like, I don't want the inquiries.
Yeah. Now inquiries it's not nothing to be afraid of. And I'm gonna just say this so people can kind of understand how credit works. Don't focus on your credit score, like you saying. It's more so focus on your credit profile. Like make sure that you get the credit profile solid. Make sure that it's in place. Everything makes sense because you got to think about it. Like we just have to think like the bank. If you're trying to run plays, I don't care if it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I don't care how many inquiries you got. The bank is looking at your credit profile and your credit history, trying to figure out if you're just somebody to do good business with.
Yeah.
So if you got a late payment, nah, I want to do business with you.
Man.
If the lines of credit that you currently got, you've maxed them out, I'm not giving you another line to max out. It's looking like you're not going to pay this back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're looking at your credit age, they're like, you ain't been handling credit that long. Like I don't know if this is, he kind of like a baby when it comes to dealing with credit and handling credit. Then they look at your accounts. They say, he ain't got no accounts.
Yeah.
This is, this the kind of game plan. Then with that last category, they look at inquiries. They say, man, he been running his credit like crazy. And so, the reality is that although these things are happening to your credit profile, there's nothing that is negative or happening on your credit profile that you don't want to happen that you can't get help with or have taken care of, especially when we talk about Metro2 compliance. So with Metro2, I've had a guy get 22 missed payments deleted.
22
missed payments updated and, accurate. We've had people I had a guy who came to me, this was about, shout out to my boy. He don't even care. He ain't even tripping because he posted on his social media. But shout out to my boy, Chris.
Yeah.
He do Turo out in Florida.
Okay.
He came to me with it was about 150 inquiries, bro.
150 hard inquiries?
Turo.
On all the cars.
So he got like 30 cars.
Yeah.
You feel me? So he like going to the car lots, run it. Just give me what you can give me. He like, give me what you give me because I'm going to go run it up on Turo anyway.
Yeah.
So he going there and just letting it run him up. So he came like, bro, you do anything? I'm like, bro, with Metro2, I got you, my dog. So I did Metro2 for him, and bro, I got like 70% of them inquiries off. So we talking about, from 150 inquiries to down to like 40 or 30 inquiries, and he was satisfied with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, we can address any and everything, but like you said, if there's an inquiry on your account and is not associated to an open account, that thing got to get that up out of there.
So when did you find Metro2? Like of course the factual disputing was taking too long. You figured it out. When were you like, oh, I got something better to like really help my clients? Yeah. So I actually I was just kind of like searching Facebook groups, and I ran across a crazy good Facebook group that was talking about Metro2 and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This group is pretty cool, man. And so I joined the group, and I was like in there just watching, seeing what they talking about. And I started kind of like paying attention. And I think I had searched and found this group because at the time, when my guys, Jeremy Woo, shout out to my guy Jeremy Woo, and he was talking to me about Metro2, but he wasn't using. He said he was hearing about it. And I'm like, well, yeah, send me some information. He's like, I'm gonna see this Facebook group they be talking about it. I'm like, all right. So I go in and I'm just listening, paying attention, and I start asking questions. And this young lady DM me. She's like, whatever you need help with, I help you out. And we started talking. We got cool. And she was like, here's the guy. This is software, whatever that he's using, and it's generating the letters for you and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. So I started using the software, and I'm getting like crazy good results. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. So fast too, right?
Fast and good. I'm like, it's deleting everything. This is crazy. So I started using it with my company, and now I'm able to scale. Now I'm taking like 40, 50 clients a month. I'm charging more. I'm doing less work. We getting faster results. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And this is how this thing happened. So I'm on a podcast with my guy Marvin Francois. Okay. And I'm talking about Metro2, how we talking about it. Yeah. And so at that time, the gentleman who had owned the system, I didn't know him. Like I knew him, but there was no relationship. Right. So somebody ended up sending him that podcast episode, and he watched it. He said he waited a couple months before he said anything to me. And then one day he sent me a message, which is like, hey man, I just want to tell you, you did an amazing job on that podcast interview. You have an amazing character. You have a heart of gold. You're really trying to help the people. He was like, and one thing you did that most people don't do, he said, is most people would try to take credit for stuff that they don't own. Yeah. He said, you got on there, you talked about me. Shout out to my family, my brother, Rodney Peak. He was just like, I'm in love with who you are, brother. Yeah. And he was like, and I just want to I want to talk to you. I want to help you. He was like, whatever you need from me in regards to Metro2 and learning and understanding, he's like, I want to help you. So he pretty much mentored me through the process of understanding Metro2, how to effectively use his software, use the system at the time. And since then, we are like brothers. We talk like every day. Manuel, this gentleman he's like 55, Caucasian. So you would never guess, you would never think, right? Yeah. He out of all the people that he dealt with, thousands of people using the system, thousands of people, he hit me up, and we've been connected ever since then. And, he don't mind me talking about this, but he's in a stage where he's terminal. And so he called me one day and was like, hey, listen, man, I'm terminal. I didn't even know none of this. Yeah. I'm just creating a relationship. I'm giving him his flowers, and just, we partnered up. We locked in. And he was just like, man, I'm glad that you with me. I'm glad that we talk every day. We working together. He was like, but look, just want to let you know I'm terminal. He was like, and I won't be around much longer. He was like, and, I think that you will be a great successor for everything that I have in place. And I'm like,
dang, that's deep.
I'm like, yo, that's tough. Yeah. And I'm just thinking like, that you got family, and like, he was just like, it's not really about that. He's like, when you see somebody who can be the successor, he was like, and I trust that you will not only take care of, yourself and your family with this opportunity, but that you would take care of mine. And, and when I go home, so I said, man, that ain't even a question. And so, he blessed me with a crazy this is crazy. Listen, look at this. Look, who's calling me right now?
That's him?
That's him right there. Y'all see that on the screen? That's him right there.
Dang.
That's crazy, bro. But that's just how God worked. And what he did was he blessed me with the opportunity. He said, listen, not only do I want you to be the successor of my system, his system is called Prodigy Surge. He said, I'm gonna give you opportunity to create your own. And so I'll be launching my own version of the original Metro2 Compliance software, because he is the originator. There's no other person that originated Metro2 Compliant automated system. He is the originator. And he said, not only do I want you to have this, he said, but I'm going to gift you your own version of this software. So we worked with the developer, and he created my own version of the software, and I'm going to launch that soon, called Phenom.
So you got the real McCoy, the real deal.
I'm that guy.
Yo,
I'm the one.
Everyone listening is just like, you already hear, like, if you want to really do it the right way, you got to go to the source.
It's crazy.
Dion got the source. He know you talking about him. His ear itching. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. So then, I guess now too, like, how do people get involved with this? How do they, find you to like do this?
Yeah, at this point, man, my system would have launched by the time you probably end up airing this, and so the people can text Phenom to 74121. You see how they sound ready, bro? You
sound good.
I'm ready, bro.
Sound good.
But they can text Phenom PHENOM to 74121. They're gonna get a link to the software. And so this software is for any and everybody. If you're an individual and you saying, yo, I got some credit challenges and I want to clean up my credit for as cheap as, I'm not even gonna say cheap, for a small investment of $147 a month.
Yeah.
And I would advise you go at least 4 rounds and go 4 months with the system. For $147 a month, you can take yourself through credit repair. So when you pay that $147, not only do you get access to the system and the letters that it's going to generate for you, but you're going to get access to a private community that we're going to be running, where I'm going to have assistants in there, and they're going to be hosting free trainings that you're going to be able to have access to, so that way they can walk you through the process of how to repair your own credit. See, we ain't going to do it. We ain't going to take people money no more and do it for you. We're going to allow you to invest in yourself, and we're going to educate you on what it is, what Metro2 is, what the process looks like. And so more importantly, by you becoming educated, you can actually put yourself in a position where you can help somebody else and probably potentially make some money. So this is also for individuals say, I want to make some part-time money. Yeah. I want to help people enhance and improve their credit profile. I want to make some part-time money. I want to catch us. I'm working my full-time job, but I need an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month. This is also going to be for you too, because you're going to learn the process. So all you got to do is offer the service, upload their credit report, and the system is going to do the work for you. It's artificial intelligence. Y'all know AI is taking over. Yeah, my system is constantly updating itself. Every 2 to 3 minutes it's updating itself. It's AI. So it's doing the work for you. You ain't got to do the work. Yeah. And this is also for that person, that third person who say, I'm already running a credit repair organization. Yeah. I'm hearing about this Metro2. I'm liking the results that y'all getting. I'm doing factory dispute or consumer law, and I ain't getting the results that I want to get. Right. And I want that Metro2 sauce. Yeah. It's for you too. So come on home. Yeah. All you gotta do is text. Just send Phenom to 74121. You're gonna get the link. You're gonna get tapped in, or you can go to www.m2phenom.com and they can get tapped in, bro. And it's their form. All you gotta do is just register, create an account, pick their monthly rate plan, and we gone, baby.
What I like best about that too is how you were just saying it's more of an opportunity for them, right? Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to teach you how to do this, and I'm going to teach you how to earn as well. Let's go. And just so that they can see themselves in the picture, I want you just to explain, like, you go to Mr. Phenomenal Power on Instagram, you start seeing new cars, new this, your life has changed. And I wanted you to let them know what that feeling is like, that how you're able to provide for your family on a different level now.
Yeah, bro. It's for me, it's a concept of me letting go of ego and focusing on we go.
I like that.
So my thing is I try to figure out how many people I can pour into and give them the same opportunity as me. And so that's what birthed Dominate the Decade Mentorship Group. And so I say, you know what? I want to teach people what I know. Yeah. At the level that I know it at, so that way they can perform at the level. If they execute on the information that I'm giving them, they can perform and they can get the same results. And so now it's like I have my mentorship program where I'm teaching my mentees the same things that I was taught and what I know and how to use my system effectively to help other people. And so because of that, for me not saying, all right, cool, I'm going to service people, because I can only service people for so long. The body get tired. Yeah. But it's kind of like a concept of the mind can work longer than the body all day. So like that's when you go to sleep, but you can't go to sleep because your mind's still racing. Yeah. Because the mind's still at work. It's like, yo, we ain't done working. Right. But the body like, yes, we are. Right. So for me, I'm like, you know what? I want to go from servicing people to actually serving people. You feel me? I don't want to serve people and do their credit repair no more. I want to serve people in a matter of teaching them how to do it, so we can actually multiply the amount of people that can actually get help. So I got mentees in my program now, bro, where they making, like I had a young lady who before she ended up losing her job, she's making $4,000 a month part-time. So she was matching her income at her gig. Yeah. And then she was like, well, look, they let me go. So now I'm finna really turn up. I'm finna go crazy. So now she's hosting seminars and stuff, and now she's really in her bag off of the information that she got from me. Yeah. And so what ended up happening is I just got blessed from helping people. God said, if you can help enough people get what they want, need, and gotta have out of life, I'm gonna take care of you forever. So I'm good, bro. Yeah. I just focus on just helping people. Like I told bro, I said, listen, bro, hey, Ari, you need anything, with your webinar before Sunday. Just give me a call, bro. I got you.
Facts.
He's like, I'm good. I said, bro, but if you need me, I'm here. I got you. And it's the same thing. All I'm doing, I'm not trying to figure out what can I get out of a situation. I'm trying to figure out what can I give to the situation. I'm not trying to figure out how can I take. I'm trying to figure out how can I add value to any situation I go into. Like, I'm a giver, bro. I'm not a taker.
Yeah.
And so my blessings come from me actually giving. It's a blessing to be a blessing. So I just give, and I don't worry about what come back to me. This is genuinely who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm able to take care of my family and do the things that I do, and I make the money that I make because I'm focusing on the people. I'm not focused on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Dominate the Decade as well.
Go.
So, like, you get in the software, right? Is Dominate the Decade like an add-on that they can also jump into to get the live mentorship? Like kind of like group session one-on-ones to like ask questions, figure it out?
So with Dominate the Decade, here's the cool part about it. Whether you purchase my direct mentorship program or even to get my course to get inside of Dominate the Decade, because course is access to it as well. You do get access to our private community through the course. With Dominate the Decade, you actually get me. So I'm actually in the group.
Yeah.
So when you got a question, I'm answering it. When you fall into a deep hole and you're trying to figure out how to get out, and you're not helping your client, I answer the question.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I do monthly Q&A strategy sessions too. So I say, hey, listen, where you at? Where you lost at? What's the problem? Why you not making no money?
Yeah.
Why you not getting no results? Why you not helping people? Tell me, how can I help you? How can I serve you today?
Right.
So I get on with them once a month for at least about 2 hours and we go in.
Yeah.
You actually get me.
Yeah.
Bro, people purchase my course and get me.
Yeah.
My course is only $1,500.
Yeah. It's
$2,000 regular, $1,500 when I put it on sale. So for as low as $1,500, you actually get me. Who do that?
Not a lot of people.
Nah,
and then when you guys think about this, I want to put this in perspective too. When you hear the number 1,500, 2,000, I want you to get shell shocked. But somebody that's literally me, myself, been going through this credit repair process, there's so many thousands that I'm not able to receive.
Talk to them.
Just because I don't have the profile set up right. So the 1,500 to get it right is, when you think about it comparatively, it's pennies on the dollar.
This is what you're telling the people. You're telling them to stop focusing on what it costs.
Yes.
But focus on what it's going to cost them if they don't take advantage of that.
Exactly.
Like, you like $1,500 for a course? Yeah, I mean, I know I get you in a private community, but like, dang, that's a lot of money. No, what's a lot of money is the money that you're giving up every single day and every single week and every single month in interest because you're dealing with bad credit.
Yep.
That car note that's supposed to be $200 when it's $600.
Yep.
That's extra $400 a month. That's too expensive. What's expensive is the things that you could buy with excuses. That's too expensive. You making an excuse saying, well, I don't know. That's too much money. I don't know if that's for me. Listen. Don't focus on the cost. Focus on what it's going to cost you if you don't make that investment in yourself.
Facts. And the time is just slowing you down. Like, there's projects that I want to do, but because some stuff may not be right, you can't get the big lines of credit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you look at, I need 50 racks, 1,500 is not nothing to get that right. You know what I mean?
Look, for 1,500, man, I mean, again, y'all could go on my Instagram, my Facebook. I post all this stuff all day. For $1,500, like, I had a young lady, she paid me. Matter of fact, she didn't even pay 15. She caught the Black Friday sale when I ran that joint. So she paid, like, at that time, I think it was like $700-800. And after, like, I think it was like the last 2 months, bro, she up $150,000. She went from a 601 to a 732, and she got like $150,000-160,000 in lines of credit. And she paid $800. Dang. So she exchanged $800 on Black Friday. Yeah. And said, I'm gonna pay this $800 to get this dude sauce. And now 2-3 months later, she up 130 some points on her personal credit, and she can't get declined now. And then she like, bro, I'm running the place. She's like, you told me to go to look at all of the banks. You gave me all of the banks that pulled TransUnion. Go to them first. Whatever. Then she like, so I ran up that bag. She's like, now I'm on Equifax banks. I'm running that bag. Now I'm on Experian banks. Bro, these are plays.
Yeah. And I would say this too, to anybody's listening, you have to get out of the box. You cannot think traditional if you want to move and play at a high level.
That's what it is, bro.
So many people just want to do, well, this is what I think it's supposed to be, or this is what I was taught. But like you just said, literally with the secrets and sauces that you're giving, there's banks that only pull from Equifax, banks that only pull from Experian. Same thing for TransUnion. So if you run the place the right way, you may crash out on Experian, but now you still got Equifax. By the time you get off tour, you 400K up.
Look, let me drop something spicy. I had somebody came to me, they was like, yo, can you help me out? I'm like, what's your credit score? They like, I got a 700 here, I got a 600, I got a 300. I'm like, well, what's going on over there on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's a bankruptcy on there.
Yeah.
I said, all right, look, check it out. We ain't gonna worry about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the experience. They got a bankruptcy. We're gonna roll with this trans and this Equifax. I got banks that's only gonna pull trans and Equifax. We're gonna rock with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they all like Navy Federal, pull trans, approved, 20,000. What? How you do that?
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I just know.
Yeah.
This is why you gotta get a mentor.
Yeah.
You gotta get you a coach.
Yep.
Like, listen, the greatest people in the world got coaches, man. Kobe had a coach.
Yep.
Michael Jordan had a coach.
Yep.
Come on, bro. Tiger Woods had a coach.
Sure did.
Hey, Floyd Mayweather, do you have a coach?
Yep.
Come on, bro. Everybody got a coach.
Yeah.
If you want to go far from a financial perspective, get you a financial coach.
Exactly.
Get you a coach. Listen, the coach is going to show you what plays to run. As long as you run the play, you're going to be all good. So I just teach my community how to run these plays effectively. And now, because they got the information, they got the strategies, as long as they execute, they good. See, it's information on me, execution on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as long as you execute on information, you're going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, people got to get over just the whole fact of like, oh, I'm going to pay someone to help me. Yes. You think Steph Curry not paying somebody to help him shoot better?
You feel me?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They said LeBron spent $1 million just on his body and training.
That's tough. That's good.
Why would he focus on himself to do that when that's not even where he needs to put his focus?
I think it goes back to the concept of people focusing on what it's going to cost them.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of really thinking stuff like, dang, okay, all right, let's just say we talking about the course. All right, this course $1,500. Dang. But you're not even looking at how much money it's costing you to not get that information to execute on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you trying to be cheap. Well, let me help you understand something. Then you say, well, I'll go get dude course who's like his course $500.
Yeah.
Listen, the cheapest ain't the best,
Sure not.
and the best ain't the cheapest.
Right.
So if you want that work, you got to invest in yourself.
You have to.
I could tell how you love yourself by how much you invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
See, I spent $200,000+ in 2022 on my personal development.
Yeah.
So if I'm willing to pour that amount of money into myself to get the proper coaching and mentorship to properly guide me, what's $1,500?
Exactly. I mean, I can attest to every single person that I look up to around me.
Yeah.
Spends money and resources to move faster.
Bro, mentorship is the cheat code to life. Like, people don't understand. That's how you go from A to Z in like 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to pay to play. Like, you have to invest in yourself. Like, a mentorship, I always tell people that a mentorship is like, look at a mentor like a GPS.
Mm-hmm.
If Tony was going to go from Atlanta to, let's just say, you was going to drive to California, would you just get in the car and drive, or would you get a GPS?
Try to map the signs
Try to map
together.
it out. Would you try to map the signs together, or would you get your GPS? Which one?
GPS.
But why?
Because I want to get there quicker. I don't want to make mistakes. I don't want to go the wrong way.
You feel
I don't
me?
want to waste gas.
But hold on. If you end up going the wrong way on the GPS, what happens?
I'm lost. I've wasted time.
No, but if you got a GPS though.
Yeah.
You got it.
It's going to reroute me.
And it's going to get you to your destination?
Yep.
That's mentorship, bro.
Every time you make a mistake, it's going to point you right back in the right direction.
That's mentorship. And you got to, that ain't free. You got to pay for that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to, it's okay to pay for mentorship.
Yeah.
Most people don't even understand the concept and understanding of like what mentorship is. Like my mentor, Myron Golden, he has the best example of mentorship.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm gonna do it with you. So Tony, if I said I'll give you $10, if I said if you give me $10 and I give you $100 back, would that be a fair deal to you?
Yeah, definitely. Here's $10 right now.
Right. What if I say if you give me 100, I give you 1,000? Is that cool?
Always.
All right. So if you gave me, let's just say 10,000, and I give you 100,000 back, is that cool?
Oh yeah, we in business.
All right. So out of those three, which one would you take?
The last one, the 10,000 for 100,000.
But why?
It just seemed like the biggest return.
There you go. So that's mentorship.
Mm.
You pay a mentor 10,000, you're gonna get $100,000 worth of information back for sure.
Facts.
So who really lost?
Kind of the mentor.
Kinda
He
the
spent
mentor.
time on you.
Come on, bro. Come
Yeah.
on. He's giving you way more. And this is why people charge, because we know that when whatever we charge you, we're going to at least 10x that investment.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that in order for you to see that investment and the results coming to fruition, you have to actually put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And see, most people get caught up in that part. They don't want to put in the work. Like,
Yeah.
the only this is what I do know. This is one factual thing that I can tell everybody, and you can snap me this. Work will work.
Yeah.
If you put in the work, it will work.
Yeah.
But see, most people don't end up putting in the work. So they'll pay and they won't put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
or this is what happened. They will try to not pay, and they'll try to go get something that's free. Like they go to YouTube University and try to self-educate themselves. But the problem with that is that now because you didn't pay, now you're not paying attention. So because you sat there for 30 minutes or whatever, and you didn't put no real money behind it, you didn't put no investment into it, you don't really feel like it was a loss.
Right.
So you got the same sauce that I would have told you, let's just say potentially, and you went on YouTube and say, I'm not gonna pay Dion nothing to mentor me. I'm gonna go to YouTube, and you may have spent 2 or 3 days. So you paid life. So either you could pay me or you could pay life. But even if you go get it and you pay life, your time, which is the true currency of all things, time is the true currency of life. We can't get time back. So if you take your time and you put that into YouTube University, but you don't run that play, because you never say to yourself, well, I spent time on this and I spent money. I gotta get a return back on my investment. But if you come and you pay me $10,000 to give you all of the credit plays, and I spend 2-3 days with you, you're gonna say to yourself, I gotta get my $10,000 back. But if you go spend 3 days on YouTube University, you like, this was some good information.
Yep.
And you go your tail right back to work.
Yep.
And you end up the same guy because you don't run no plays because you didn't really pay attention. You didn't really value the information the same as you paying somebody to actually coach you, mentor you, and develop you to the next level. And then also too, when you decide that you might not want to run a play, somebody that's looking at you like, what you doing?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna run no plays?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's why you're gonna be in the same spot next year.
Yep. And I know you always giving away so much information that you even got so much information that you give away free information
all the time, bro.
Tell them about your training.
Which one?
On Sundays.
Yeah. So I do a free credit workshop, man, on Sundays. Y'all can tap into that one too, man. The link is in my bio. I mean, or you can text Metro2 to 74121. Look, I got it ready for y'all, bro.
Ready.
I mean, but every Sunday, man, I do a free workshop where people can tap in, and I'll teach you how to get a 700 credit score with Metro2 Compliance, and I also teach you how to go get $100,000 from the bank, so that way, I give you some banks which you can go get the bag from, and then I also show you how to start your own credit repair company and run up a bag too. So I just teach you the game that I know, and I give it away for free because I feel like, man, I got so much game I can give it away. A lot of people don't want to give away game. That's because they ain't got no game. Yeah. But see, the only thing that you could take from me is notes. Yep. And I talk fast, so you got to write fast. You feel me? Like it's like that's just the way that it is, bro. Yeah. So we're gonna put all the links in the description for everybody. What do you want to leave the people with? Just for them, they, so much information that's been taught. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. More so too about just start, execute. You know what I'm saying? Just go there. Yeah. Delay gratification. Don't focus on instant gratification. Yeah, I think people need to focus on just valuing and respecting the journey. Yeah. Because I think people get lost in understanding that it's not about how long or how hard you're gonna have to put in the work to get to the finish line. But I think that you need to focus on the person that you're becoming and the process. Yeah. That's what it's about. So it's more so about you enjoying the process and the person that you're actually becoming, because if you never become the person to do the thing, then you can never really do the thing. So many people are dealing with emotional stuff and mental stuff and breaking down and, childhood traumas that they can never really get over that hump to actually perform at the level that they want to perform at. So I really think that people need to understand that life is like a two-sided coin. It's either working for you or it's working on you. So if it's working for you, that means that you're doing a good job. It's working for you. But now if it's working on you, which is majority of individuals, 9 out of 10 people, that means it's working on you so that it can help you eventually become the person to actually go and do the thing that you was called to do. So most people just don't really operate in a purpose. They don't really operate within what's passionate to them. They looking over here, seeing what this person doing. They look and see what that person doing. They comparing themselves where they really can't compete because this person is on day 365 and you on day 2. You getting lost in the sauce where you just need to focus on being genuinely, authentically you. Put in that work, because the only thing that work is work.
Y'all heard it from the man. That's my man, Dion Coopwood.
Let's go.
Tell him the Instagram name.
Yeah, man. Instagram, you can follow him on Instagram at Mr. Phenomenal Power. That's at Mr.Phenomenal way. Phenomenal is spelled and then power all together. And then on Facebook, man, at Dion Coopwood. TikTok at Mr. Phenomenal Power as well.
Hey, make sure y'all tap in with him. Don't let this be the last time you heard from him. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that. We'll see y'all on the next episode.
Let's get it.